Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. Now guys, in this video we catch up with General Yakubu Gowon. Now General Yakubu Gowon is one of the better presidents we have had in Nigeria. Now you would say General Yakubu Gowon was a coup plotter, and that is a cardinal sin, and I agree with you. Being a coup plotter is a cardinal sin, because a coup plotter, of course, forces his will against the nation, against their will, because nobody has invited him into that post, and he has used force to take that post. So I agree that that is a cardinal sin. But if we set that aside and we look at what he has then done subsequently, having then foisted himself on the Nigerian state, he has done some good work. I have to say, he has done some things that have lasted the test of time. Now, a lot of you may or may not know that it was actually General Yakubu Gowon that initiated and brought to being the NYSC program, the National Youth Service Corps program, which is one of the success stories within the Nigerian firmament, because it then enables young Nigerians to get to know the country and to serve their country for a year as a payback for the what was then a free education, but still a not too expensive education that they are getting. At least it allows them to serve their country for a year, and then it enables them then to have like a work experience of a year on their CV. They go to different parts of the country to get to know the different the different nationalities within the country, and just get to know the country. So it's a success story. The NYSC, no matter what you have to say, in my own personal opinion, is a success story. And the NYSC was a Yakubu Gowon initiative. So that is one plus for him. So irrespective of the fact that he's a coup plotter, and we all know about the Civil War and all of that, but the NYSC is a success story. We have to admit that. So now that is one in there. That is one feather in his cap, the NYSC success story. So now the other thing that this guy also did, he also initiated and brought into being Abuja as the federal capital territory of Nigeria. So the Abuja being the federal capital territory of Nigeria was a Gowon initiative, because Gowon during that time wanted the capital of Nigeria, the seat of government, to be at the very heart of the country, at the very center of the country, so that then it's not easily accessible to anybody that is looking to initiate an attack against the Nigerian state. Because you will remember that Lagos rather is on the coastline and is easily accessible from anybody looking to invade, but Abuja is right at the very center of the country, which then makes it even more difficult for anybody with ill intentions towards the country to get to. And you'd also remember that Abuja is surrounded by hills and rocks as well, so which then makes it not so much impenetrable but difficult to penetrate. So then that was his idea. So Abuja, being the federal capital territory of Nigeria, was also a Gowon initiative. So Gowon did a lot for Nigeria. And the Civil War also is something that is linked to Gowon's name. Now, I'm not going to take a view on that, because I know it's a very controversial topic, so I'm not going to tackle that. I'm not afraid to tackle controversial topics, by the way, as you all well know. But I am not tackling that particular controversial topic in this video, because this video is really about Gowon. So now, but the Civil War also is one of the, in fact, the Civil War really is the key thing that you would link to Gowon's name first, and then all the things that I've then listed prior then comes subsequently. So the first thing you think when you hear Gowon is the Civil War, and then when you begin to dig further and further into the man and his achievements and what he has done and his impact on the Nigerian space, then the NYSC and the Abuja etc. comes into play. So now that's the background. So now guys, let me bring you this. Gowon reveals his biggest mistake whilst in power. So that's the headline of the story. Gowon reveals his biggest mistake whilst in power. So now to the body of that story. Yakubu Gowon, former head of state, has said his biggest regret was not allocating land to himself whilst in power. Gowon made this disclosure in Abuja on Tuesday at the 26th anniversary exhibition and commemoration of the movement of seat of government from Lagos to Abuja. He also lamented that despite being the initiator of the idea that gave birth to the present Federal Capital Territory as the nation's capital, successive governments marginalized him by not naming any street after him. Now that's very difficult to believe, and that is something that needs to be corrected immediately, because we have Muritala Mohammed International Airport in Lagos, we have Nnamdi Azikiwe Airport in Abuja, we have Abiola Stadium, etc. But the guy that actually came up with the idea of Abuja itself, it doesn't even have one street named after him. I mean, that cannot be right by anybody's reckoning. So that is something that needs to be corrected almost immediately. So we carry on. The former head of state disclosed that he had powers to make Jos the capital of Nigeria, but he did not do so. This, he said, was due to the fear of being accused of parochialism, given the fact that Jos was close to his place of birth. Gowon: I had to officially complain to General Babangida when he was the military president that I had been excluded from getting a street named after me in Abuja, whilst all other members of the military council who nurtured the idea had gotten streets named after them. One of the places that attracted me was somewhere in Plateau. So he's now talking about when he was searching for a new capital for Nigeria. So one of the places that he looked at was somewhere in Plateau. So one of the places that attracted me was somewhere in Plateau. Those of you who know the place, especially close to Jos Forest, will agree that the area is beautiful. And I thought that place was beautiful for the capital city. So his first thoughts were that particular place in Plateau State. But I did not make the choice because I would have been accused of parochialism and favoritism, because it was very close to my original place where I come from. So I said no, I must look for other places. The search for a new capital took me round the northwest, and in my state visits, I continued to look for other places. When I came to Abuja, I was attracted. So this is how he now settled on Abuja, which is then decided that this was then going to be Nigeria's new federal capital, and thus started that process, which was then, I think, the final push to then make Abuja the capital territory, because he started the process, and then subsequent governments would then come up and put up a building here and there, but nothing really major was happening. But then the real push to then make Abuja the capital of Nigeria was really done by Babangida, who went all out to ensure that this move took place. And I think that move actually took place under Babangida, who also, in spite of his link with corruption, has also major achievements to his name. So one of the major achievements to Babangida's name, of course, is what we are already talking about now, which is that move from Lagos to Abuja. So it was Babangida, irrespective of whatever else you have to say about him, that completed that process of moving the federal capital territory, or the federal the federal capital of Nigeria, from Lagos to Abuja. So that process was completed during Babangida's time, and he did a lot of the building work in Abuja to prepare it. He certainly built Aso Rock and all that. And the third mainland bridge also in Lagos, by the way, was also built by Babangida. So in spite of everything and anything that you have to say about this guy, that's another thing that is to his credit. So he moved the capital from Lagos to Abuja. He built the third mainland bridge, And they also say that the freest and the fairest election in Nigeria so far is still June 12, which was under his supervision. So I am no Babangida's fan. I think the guy should be in jail. You know, the guy is the ground zero of every problem that we have in that country today, because he introduced a new dimension of corruption to Nigeria, which we are now not able to recover from, because everybody now wants to loot money more than Babangida. Everybody, because they saw Babangida loot it and walk away and get away with it, so everyone subsequently has been just doing exactly the same thing. We all remember Abacha. Every time Abacha loot, I think they've recovered close to $5-7 billion from this guy so far, and there's still plenty more, because his son is coming out to say that he will never be as poor as Dangote. So that tells you the level of money that these people who are stolen, and they walk away. Everybody steals and walks away. So, and that template was set by Babangida. So I have no time for the fella, and I think he should be in prison. But irrespective of that, the third mainland bridge, he built it. The Abuja Federal Capital Territory, he built it. So that is to his credit, but then everything else that is to the minus weighs heavily against him, and is more minus than plus, that guy for me in the Nigerian space. So conversations in the comment section is what I am inviting. What Gowon deserves. He said he should have taken some land for himself, but maybe he should have, because that is what everyone else would have done. But it's not morally acceptable, but then within the Nigerian space, you throw morality out of the window and you just grab what you can. This is what we do in that country. So this is what I am inviting: conversations about Gowon, Abuja, and what he is deserving of. So come join me in the comment section to have that conversation. But before you come join me in the comment section, click on the red subscribe button so it turns gray. Click on the bell button, that way you're notified every time I drop a new video. Then come join me in the comment section, let me know what you're thinking. So I'll leave you here, meet you there, but here I say peace.